second-generation Italian born and bred in Sydney's inner west, Joe has become a firm fixture on the Australian comedy circuit as the world's only best-selling bilingual comedian. Joe has been called one of the planet's hottest comics by the Globe and Mail and has received rave reviews from the Daily Telegraph, The Age, and amongst others. He frequently performs sold-out shows to massive crowds in Australia, the UK, USA, and Canada, where he still holds the record for the fastest-selling comedy show ever in Canada, selling 6,400 tickets in just 2 hours. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Avati! One of the perks about my job is that I get to work with the best talent in Australia and maybe even the world. Tonight at the wedding here at Dalton House, I have Australia's best comedian. Like, I've worked with this guy for so many years. I remember working with this guy at 2RDJ FM. Wow, that's going back. Wow. So let me introduce, please, the number one, the one and only Joe Avati. Hello, Joe.
Hello, mate. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
So
Always a pleasure to work with you, mate. I always know that when I work with you, I'm going to get a good night.
Well, you're going to get a good intro at least.
A good intro, at least a good intro.
Yeah. And you do the rest.
Yeah.
That's it. I sit back. Actually, when I know that Joe's on, I don't crack jokes. Actually, I actually feel every wedding that I do, I actually say to myself, what would Joe do? But that Joe, not me. So it's always a pleasure working with Joe. But yeah, I don't know if you remember, 2RDJ FM was
2RDJ, I remember.
1995.
Yep.
That's our age, showing our age now, yeah?
Yeah, so I had the show with Mel Como.
I Tu Compari.
Tu Compari with Enzo Piazza.
Yes, Enzo Piazza.
My brother was on there as well.
Yep.
And wow, yeah, that was a, you know, that kind of, you know, the funny thing was with 2RDJ, it was in Burwood. Yep. And it was only on one watt station.
That's right.
But people in Manly could hear it, and people would be like, you know, we had to put the antenna up into the corner of the rooms for that hour so we could hear.
But
great.
They could hear you in Manly, but in Five Dock they couldn't get you at all. Five Dock, the next suburb, but they couldn't get us. So yeah, and I remember then when you and Enzo started doing stage shows.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I remember that. In Tu Compari, you did a stage show at one of the Italian nightclubs, and I remember going, this guy's funny. Like he was good, like, but well prepared and all that. And then, you know, all of a sudden, you know, I got out of the nightclub scene, and he got funnier. And then I started to, and then I remember once, and you wouldn't remember this, but you were doing a stage show at, it may have been Canterbury or something, and I'm there going, kind of waving, going, I know him. He didn't recognise me. It was right.
But now I'd recognise him.
Yeah, now.
Oh, there's Joe.
Now he gets an email from me. This is what time you're on. So all of a sudden he had a text message. Hurry up, where are you?
I'm at another gig.
So Joe, you know, look, there's a lot of people watching this that have seen your shows, and they see the end product. And a lot about what I do is preparation.
Yeah. So,
and I know that you don't just walk out on stage, and I know you're a funny guy naturally, but I know you don't walk out on stage and you're just funny.
No, well, there's, you know, okay, the gags are one thing. So you know the gags work all the time, but you have to know background. Yep. You know, what do they do? You got to get a feel of the room. Sometimes I always ask them, you know, has something happened recently? Sometimes somebody passes away, or someone's passed away recently, and they're sensitive, or there's parents that are divorced, or don't do divorce jokes, or don't pick on this person, or don't, you know, and so you got to do that. And then also, you know, dealing with yourself, I've got to say, if there's little kids running around, please make sure because you know how many times parents don't hold their kids in the middle of a show, and they're like, and the kids are running around at your feet, and you know, and it's distracting you as an artist, as a performer, but it's distracting everybody else. So there's all these kind of things, you know. Performing in front of 5,000 or 6,000 people, that's easy. I can do that with my eyes closed. These kind of gigs, you really have to work hard. You know, there's flowers in the way. There's food being. So that's another thing. I can't do my show when there's food being served, because you can't eat and laugh at the same time, right?
That's right. Well, we've already had this discussion, and I've spoken to the management here that, you know, every time I've worked with Joe, I've made sure that food's on the table and it's been there for a little bit. There's nothing worse than they're laughing and they're trying to put really good food in their mouth. It's like coming straight out.
Well, you know, like sometimes you're doing a gig and the food comes out and all of a sudden the laughter just dies. And you go, what's going on? And then you look out and you can see people serving the food. And that makes sense. Because, you know, ethnic weddings, mate, it doesn't matter, the Pope could be there. They're not going to care. As soon as the food comes out,
that's it.
Like, ciao.
Yep, that's it.
We're gone.
I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter what you do for your wedding. If it's an Italian wedding and there's no bread on the table, you're in trouble. That's it. It's all about the food. Yeah. But look, Joe, I'm not going to keep you too much. I know you're preparing for our show, but I wanted to thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. I can't wait till the 400
I can't wait
others.
to see your show.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So the Wedding Master, I'm going to tell Joe about it. Wedding Master is going to be on YouTube. It's a YouTube channel. It's coming out very soon. Yeah. Who knows where it's going to go from there. But each week I'll be doing different things about the wedding industry, doing do's and don'ts, the top 10 do's and don'ts. I'll be interviewing different people, different vendors. But I got to interview the best tonight. This is good.
The good thing about it, you see, most couples only ever do it once. You do it week in, week out. So who best to know?
And we see it. Look, Joe does a lot of emceeing as well. Like as in, he's a wedding MC himself. So he knows what I'm trying to show people, which is the fun side of, and there's a lot of organisation, but we know that when you're organised, it's fun. If you're not organised, that's when it's stressful. Yeah. But there's a lot of things that happen in the wedding industry, and there's a lot of things that people and couples should keep away from. But everything is an experience, everything's a lesson. Yeah, so he knows. It's good. But I can't wait to see his show tonight. I know I'll be laughing, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Thank you.